Mes hommages, mon nom est Spring et McTrap, et si vous êtes là, c'est parce que je ne veux que les meilleurs, en l'occurrence, vous. Alors, j'ai été un peu, comment dire, choqué par la dernière fin que nous avons obtenue, et en me baladant pour voir si je trouvais d'autres trucs pour interagir ou quoi que ce soit, j'ai trouvé ce panneau qui met New Content. New Content, attention. Alors, je sais pas, allons explorer.
Oh good, you notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ok. Alors, on y va. Je crains le pire. Ou le meilleur, je ne sais pas. Tu dis rien, narrateur?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Oula.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
The end is
You
never
see, isn't this
again.
far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Ah, il y a du nouveau PC.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Ok. Wow. Hello. La collision. Le wow. New content is out. New content partout is in. Just busted. Boring section of the start. Okay. They're back 2 doors. Bien. The fern. Je peux pas interagir.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Ils ont oublié Team Fortress 2. This way to the show floor. New content. Ok. It's a trap!
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
X is the button that say the name of the player that is playing the game. Here you're naming the game. Reassurance Bucket. Merch. No screenshots. Je vais quand même d'abord aller au bouton parce que ça a l'air d'être rigolo. Out of order. Lol. Très intéressant.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
J'ai peur.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of
C'est mon
course,
vrai
in the
nom,
final
je déconne.
game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Ouais.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Est-ce que peut...
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Je ne peux pas appuyer sur ce bouton. J'en étais sûr que ça allait être une grosse connerie.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Le bouton qui dit le nom du joueur. Saut de réconfort. Décoration de bureau. Trou sans fond.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Je sais pas, le bleu et le rouge a l'air plus classe.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
D'accord. Ils ont changé toutes les
Or
images.
actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Ok. C'est le trou sans fond, ça?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Non!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now,
Yeah.
I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Ok. En vrai, c'est marrant. Petite musique. Ah, mais celui-là, on l'a vu.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Zut. It just works. That's new. Du collectif. Mais j'ai raté un truc, je crois, derrière. Oui, j'ai raté la bucket. Let's see the bucket. Is that a Team Fortress 2 reference?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Whoa!
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
D'accord. C'est rigolo tout ça. Bon, maintenant.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Alors avant la exit, il y a du collectible. On va finir par l'achievement, donc on va faire les collectibles d'abord. Can you find them? Collect them all. Et je les collecte en les mettant dans mon seau, je ne sais point.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What the fuck? Pourquoi? Yes! Et on peut plus revenir. Bien.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Free, get your right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Ah!
You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Incroyable. Il y a rien, je suppose. C'est juste... Voilà. Ça sert juste à perdre du temps. Bravo. Bon, bah je crois qu'on a vu tout.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Bah, c'est tout. Hein. Comment ça, c'est pas tout? Je crois que c'est tout. Hein. On va sortir. Hein.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Ouais.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Ouais.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
What? C'est quoi ce menu stylé? Mais c'est bien. Bah on commence le jeu alors je suppose. Attendez.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Attendez.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Voilà.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Poof. To heaven.
Oui, des boutons partout.
Ok, on se fait chier. Oh, oh, putain, ça m'a fait peur. La suite, la suite est en pause. On va prendre la partie. Recommencer le jeu. Si je recommence le jeu. Et voilà. Bon, je pense qu'on va se laisser sur cette entre guillemets mise à jour, je ne sais pas. Et à bientôt pour une prochaine vidéo de Spawning Minecraft. Wow.